In this lesson, we're going to talk about the difference between experimental and theoretical probability. So theoretical probability is the probability of an event occurring in an ideal situation, whereas experimental probability is the calculation of probability based on an experiment. So these can be different. These probabilities can have different values. And if we look at the first example, you'll see here we have a bag that has 11 blue marbles, 15 green marbles, and 4 yellow marbles. Antonio picks marbles out of the bag. After he picks a marble, he records its color and places it back into the bag. After picking 30 marbles, this is his data. So he picked a blue marble 9 times, green 18 times, and yellow 3 times. Question A says, what is the theoretical probability of drawing a green marble? Theoretical means, in theory, out of all of the marbles in the bag, how many of them are green? That would be the theoretical probability of drawing a green marble. So in the bag, there's 11 plus 15 plus 4. There's 30 marbles total in the bag. And of those, 15 are green. So the theoretical probability of drawing a green marble is 15 out of 30, which is half. But based on his experiment, what is the experimental probability that he draws a green marble? Well, that's based on how many times he actually drew a green marble in his 30 draws. So in this case, 18 of the 30 times that he picked a marble, he got a green one. So the experimental probability is 18 out of 30. What is the theoretical probability of drawing either a yellow or a green marble? Well, in this case, go back up to the top here. In the bag, there are 15 green and 4 yellow. So there's 4 yellow and 15 green. So out of the 30 marbles, you have theoretically a 19 out of 30 chance of picking either yellow or green. But experimentally, if we look at his experiment, he chose 18 green and 3 yellow. So 3 and 18. So experimentally, the probability is 21 out of 30 that he gets either a yellow or a green marble. So you can see that theoretical and experimental probabilities are not always, most commonly actually, won't be the same. But technically, as you do more and more, so if he continued to pick marble after marble after marble, the more he does this experiment, you should see that his experimental probability will approach the theoretical probability. So if he were to draw, for example, 3,000 marbles out of the bag, you could expect that about half of them would be green. Now, there's one other type of probability to think about, and that's subjective judgment. So this is when people are making a decision based on their own experience or bias or opinions. And it's subjective judgment because it can be different for different people. So this is why it is the least accurate in terms of probability. Let's look at an example that compares these. Example 2 says Sierra, Blake, and Savannah are having an argument about the lottery. In this specific lottery, Lottery Canada guarantees that the $10 million prize will be paid. Sierra argues that someone has to win the lottery, so why couldn't she be the winner? On the other hand, Blake argues that there are many people buying tickets for this lottery. Therefore, the chances of actually winning the lottery are very low. And Savannah agrees with Blake that they shouldn't buy lottery tickets. However, Savannah is basing her reasoning on the fact that her parents have been buying lottery tickets for years and they haven't won anything. So we're going to compare what type of reasoning these three people are using. So Sierra is basing her decision on her own opinion. She's just saying, someone has to win, why couldn't it be me? There's no evidence that she understands the actual chances of winning the lottery. So her opinion is based solely on her subjective judgment. Whereas for Blake, he's saying lots of people buy lottery tickets. Therefore, the chances are actually very low. He's basing this on the theoretical probability that the chances of winning the lottery are 1 out of a really large number. So he's talking about theoretical probability. And Savannah is talking about how her parents have been buying lottery tickets for years and have never won. Well, that's based on an experiment. Her parents have been trying to win the lottery for a long time and haven't. So she's basing her reasoning oh my goodness, experimental probability. So she's basing it on the fact that they've been playing the lottery for a long time and haven't won yet. Therefore, she decides it must not be very likely. So that's the difference between subjective judgment, theoretical, and experimental probability.